Oh, come on, Biffy.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan, and today we're doing another Simple Signal stream. Excited for this stream as well. I didn't get these intros down, but I normally kind of go into why I'm excited, and I think I'm quite excited because we seemingly conformed to our range. Now, it might not be, we're not at like $65 billion dollars yet. We're not really high up for Bitcoin, as obviously I think we'd all hope for. But it's, try and find the good news in whatever situation. Obviously, I think I was going to get to the charts in a few minutes. It does seem like we are actually staying within the range, which is good, which means we should hopefully break out very soon. It feels like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but obviously you'll know what I mean when we get to the charts. Obviously, thank you all for joining us today on the stream. Hopefully you having a great day. Hopefully your day has been brilliant. Hopefully your trades have been brilliant if you've taken any trades recently. I'd love to hear if you guys have done something really, really well. If you've done an amazing trade, I'd love to see it and hear about it. That'd be really nice to hear about. Other than that, the links in the description, whatever platform you're on, scroll down, there's some useful links. You can check them out at the end of the stream right now. Doesn't really matter. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and as well, the main important part actually, if you've got any coins you want me to cover, any sort of charts, it could be on, preferably on TradingView, but if it's, an early coin, it's like Bird Eye or anything like that, then that's okay as well. If you've got any coins, just tell me the name of it, and I will write it down my list. I'll say it out loud to confirm that I've seen it, and I will look at it after we look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, the main three coins we normally look at. That's pretty much it. Also, only you, I saw your Telegram message, so I didn't respond. Ask me any questions. I do not mind. Obviously, I'll try and do it as best I can. Ask me on YouTube, because this is also thing I do say as well, is you can ask me for coins to cover as well. But you can also ask me general, trading questions. Obviously, I'll hopefully be able to answer it. It's just, I don't know every single thing in the universe about trading, so hopefully I do know the answer to your question. And if you do have them, just ask them. It's free. There's no harm in asking. I can hopefully give you a good answer. So you can ask it here, or you can ask it wherever. So that's another thing I wanted to say. So other than, I'm gonna get on to looking at CoinMarketCap, seeing the percentages, seeing what's going on. We look all right. Obviously within the 1 hour, we're looking a bit negative right now. It's looking a bit maybe we had a bit. I think we had like a bit of a bounce from the bottom end of things. We will see on the charts. Obviously when I go into it, I think I might delete some things today on the chart because it is an absolute mess on my charts. One day, one stream, I'm going to come on. It's going to be a whole new chart. It's going to be beautiful. So, but until then, I've still got this mess of the chart. So we will, I will talk through it. But I think I'm going to delete some things, especially the head and shoulders, because that just did not work. But we are still in our cup and handle scenario thing, whatever was going on. So But anyway, yeah. So we're kind of especially for Bitcoin anyway, kind of coming up from the 1 hour, kind of hovering. Obviously, it is a 1 hour. 1 hour. It just turned 9 o'clock, or my time, maybe 9 o'clock. It's 4 minutes ago, so I'm not expecting these to be too crazy on the 1 hour. But obviously, looking at the 24 hour and the 7-day, we're looking slightly up for Bitcoin. Obviously, this makes sense. I think we bounced off our lower end of our range for Bitcoin, and obviously, I think things are slowly, subsequently following, as you can see. Ethereum, this, what one stream it's on, and then one stream it's not on. We're at 3K and then down to 2945, 295. I think I did mention though, because I remember I talked about what I thought was going to happen. Obviously, when we completely invalidated our head and shoulders, that was a shame. But I thought we were going to come up a bit, which I think we did. Although I do think we did come up and then come down. But I think the issue was the fact that we just came down too much. So yeah, I think we kind of did what I expected. So I do think I had a 29.50 line for Ethereum, but again, we will go into it when we get there. Looking all right. Again, things are looking pretty stagnant. I mean, you can look at the percentages, like 2.5% Bitcoin, not bad. 0.7% on 24 hour for Ethereum. It's like nothing's really doing anything. I mean, things are doing things. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you go into the lower cap coins, obviously high percentages will be more consistent and regular. But it's kind of looking a bit meh on a lot of coins. But whatever. That's not what we're looking at today. Today we are looking at the charts. I'm on the 4 hour for Bitcoin to preface that. So you can see, I think on the daily it's a bit more accurate. I can't remember which time frame it is. Actually, no, I think it was a different chart. I need to delete some things. But so we kind of see what happened. So actually, no, yeah, I thought we were going to break out here. So we kind of came up before. Instead of coming down, we broke upwards above this order block actually, and then stayed here, and then used this new kind of mid order block, and then kind of used it as support. Kind of had some steps upwards, had some issues. We didn't actually come down to make the head and shoulders, which is fine because obviously, as I said during the stream, I was like, okay, we've got the head and shoulders on the lower time frame, but obviously on the high time frames we had this round bottom kind of scenario going on here. So I'm going to delete it because obviously it just did not happen because we came all the way down. But what is good, obviously you can see we have been staying within our range pretty, roughly kind of here. Obviously now it's looking a bit rough. We're actually kind of coming outwards, which I suppose you could say is a good thing. So if I redraw these lines a bit more professionally, because this was kind of a rough drawing, let me draw it a bit better. It was about like this, I think. Actually, we kind of came above. And we'll do it to here. So we kind of see boom, kind of coming upwards, then downwards, and upwards, downwards, and then we actually came to our bottom line, which I drew. I don't know. I don't think I drew this last year. I think it must have been like the stream before or something. But I drew this line. What? I don't remember why I drew this line. Obviously drew it for a reason. I don't know. We came down here. Again, another reason why. I think this was like a Saturday stream or something. Or not this Saturday stream, but I think it was a stream in the mediary. So I think I was drawing this as a support area, which does look like we did use it as support. As you can see, the 2% padding, and we actually used the 6190 line as support, as you can see right here with this line. So, but we consistently stayed above the white line anyway as support. So I suppose fair enough there. I don't know why this line's there. There we go. So my drawing is basically we still have this on. This line here. Kind of coming upwards. Obviously, it's a bit rough. I think I drew it on the daily, so it's looking a bit stretched out. But obviously, coming from this point and then coming upwards, eventually, coming towards the higher points. And I think the actual the poll on what was the poll? I know Mike is doing the polls on the certain platform. What was the number? The high number? I can't remember what your range was. I know it was between the lower and the high. Like, did it have 50k in there? Was it 60k? Whatever you said, well, whatever the higher range was, I don't know what it said exactly, but we can kind of see maybe coming up towards actually, as we come down, as you can see, we're kind of invalidating it here. So we should hopefully be on the, the recline, not the upcline. I don't know, the upwards movement, whatever, for Bitcoin. Hopefully, obviously, to be fair though, again, you can kind of apply this to a different scenario where you say, okay, well, technically this is a Bart Simpson, as you can see, coming down from one wick, coming like this, and then coming right back upwards. So, we have had this Bart Simpson kind of, being in this scenario, bring us right back upwards to here, which is a good thing, to be fair. but it has invalidated us out of this, range. So what this either means is we've completely invalidated this whole scenario, and then we could come back down and then, oh well, woe is us. Or it's been, okay, this is good positivity, and it's going to bring us upwards, and it's actually going to have this scenario where we actually break above this resistance points towards the higher ends, about 65.5, and beyond, hopefully. So, but again, we do still have our consistent resistance points above us anyway for Bitcoin. If I draw these along now, there we go. So we still have our resistance points of difficulty. Obviously, these have been drawing on different time frames, so they're going to have different strengths. And I don't think most of them are on the daily anyway, but they're going to have different strengths anyway, keeping us up and above and below the kind of range. But to be fair, on the daily anyway, we still haven't printed, because we're still within the day anyway. So we could come back down towards the 62 mark and stay within this range on the daily especially. And to be fair, the drawing is within the 4 hour. So, it should realistically stay within the 4 hour. And as you can see, we've been printed above it. So we should have realistically stayed above this now. For example, if I go back to the daily, it's not really a daily range. I mean, you can kind of apply it here, but it's not really a daily range. So the invalidation of it would have happened on the 4 hour, which it has had anyway. So if it has been invalidated, it's either we actually are breaking out now, and obviously going maybe towards the upper end of what the poll said on the certain platform, going upwards now towards the higher end, like I said, about 65.5, 65.4, or it's an invalidation of it and we bounce off it and kind of completely ignore it and then do our own thing, which is going to be an upsetting scenario. If we have, obviously, again, looking at what we have right now and looking at a surface level, we've basically got two options. Have we invalidated it? Have we not? Well, technically, we've stayed in the range and now we're breaking out of it. So technically, the breakout now should be where we start to come upwards. So there's that scenario, and that's quite an easy scenario to take on, because then we can just say, okay, well, we're just going to come towards the top of our line, which is about 65.4. Or have we been invalidated because of an XYZ scenario, or because we bounced off this bottom line and it stops us from actually reaching our full potential to come towards the bottom of the range? Well, if that happens and we are invalidated, then I don't think, I don't see anything right now breaking us above these lines. AKA, we can see by the momentum, we are nearly pretty much fully overbought right now, coming towards the 60 mark, which is not going to be a good thing. Obviously, you can see VWAP been coming down for a while now, which should mean at some point, if we continue to have negative movement for the VWAP, it would mean momentum would start to arc upwards or arc downwards. It probably would move up a bit more, which would allow us to cross this 60 mark and become an actually not concerning level, but a significant level of being bought. And then crossing there, be a red dot around here, maybe coming downwards again. If we have continuous negativity alongside with momentum and VWAP, then money flow starts to come downwards, and then probably bring ourselves down towards maybe testing. Maybe this is support. That would be really nice to see that support. Worst case scenario, maybe this is the 4 hour, to be fair. So I don't know how long that would take. Maybe like 4 candles. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe coming towards this area, because sometimes when you break out of ranges or you stay out of ranges, you could use them as support. I've seen that before, many times. So we could use it support, and that could maybe coincide with the midpoint of this order block. So, there's that scenario as well. I don't know how authentic this kind of scenario is, but we should, in theory, okay, we've broken out of this range. But again, a lot of chart patterns, they're not always 100% of the time, or they don't act out 100% of the time. You see that, pennants, you can draw a pennant and it'll just not happen, which, we even saw this back with Bitcoin quite a while ago. We had a pennant here, which broke out of it, it's gone. But again, like I said, what day is it today? Okay, we've got, we're still on, guys, don't worry, we're still on for 16th, for the 16th to be at 90k, we're still on for it. We are still on for it. But anyway, like I said, we still have, as we get closer, what is going on with this chat? I have not been looking at the chat. You know what, I will actually look at the chat, What's been going on? So please say welcome. So we'll say which coin. This is Bitcoin right now. What we normally do on the stream, we do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, the first 3 main coins, and then we do either suggestions or I kind of just hover around looking at different coins until we end the stream. So again, I will reiterate, if you've got any coins you want to cover, then just put it in the chat. I will say so, and I'll put it on my notepad. That I will cover it. We had sushi actually. We had actually, you know what? I need to remember last stream. I think we had a lot of potential trades which I need to go look back at. I think the general sense from that, I think it was last stream we covered it, a lot of the trades happened, but they didn't happen as much because Bitcoin didn't really do to the full potential what we had, because we wicked. Again, I covered it on last stream anyway, so if you want to check that out, if you were one of the people who asked for a coin, I covered it in last stream, and you want to know what the results were, you can go to last stream after this stream and go check them out as well, because we did talk about quite a lot of the trades which we had in potential for, before we kind of, I think it was back here when we kind of pumped in this scenario, coming upwards towards 65.5. So what I wouldn't be surprised at is if we came back towards that mark. Again, it seems like we have already bounced off it, previously, and then maybe we might bounce off it again. But that is, bearing in mind if we do, because obviously we have bounced off of 63.465, which is the exact price point of where our Bart Simpson kind of started to form, and we had that scenario and then came back up to it. And obviously in Bart Simpson, if I go to it, how the fuck can I type? So you can see like, I don't really think Bart Simpson's. I don't really know if they have like a scenario. Like, all I know is that you have a big wick upwards, huge upwards, and then you kind of hover a bit and then you come back downwards. I don't think there's really anything after it. Obviously in this scenario, it's kind of a we kind of come upwards after. I don't really know if that's something to bear in mind. I just think it's a scenario where you either come upwards, hover, and then come right back downwards. So I don't think there's anything. I'm trying to apply this to see. Okay, well if there's a Bart Simpson and we've gone upwards, we would continue to go upwards. I don't think that really happens. But, in a lot of the scenarios, you see Bart Simpsons occur where, they kind of hover, they do their thing, they come down, do up, and then they do the thing in the same area. So, what could happen? We could crab within this area. Obviously, we are coming green now. So the two scenarios I see is if we maybe hover above here, we don't really come back down because we're out of the range now. Maybe wicking downwards towards maybe the order block down here, or maybe worst case, 62 to test as like kind of the midpoint area. But I don't think we really come back down towards like 60k. If we do, then I should probably retire tomorrow, because then I'll just hang my hat on the the coat hanger and just kind of leave, because this is I don't really think we'll come down again. Obviously, look above us, we've got all these resistance points, but like I said, these are drawn on different time frames, so they're not exactly all going to be completely accurate or completely strong. Obviously, on the higher time frames, we could break above them quite easily. Some of these were drawn the 1 hour, maybe I'm not sure about the 30-minute. So some of these could be breaking out of pretty easily. So you do bear that in mind. But again, they are still going to be all the blocks and points of resistance nonetheless. We have used a lot of them really accurately anyway, so still, they're going to be hard to break above, which we've seen, time and time again. Kind of, since kind of the middle to end of April onwards, we've had difficulty at pretty much most of these order blocks, being able to break out of them. Now, if I zoom out really quickly, I don't really think there's anything significant in terms of a trend. I mean, I should probably go to the daily. I need to delete these charts. You know what? I'm deleting some of these lines. Oops. I need to clean this up. It's an absolute mess. I can't see anything. Delete these. There we go. But yeah, I'm deleting the momentum, but again, or I'm deleting the drawing to the market cipher, but kind of remember what we had. But to be fair as well, on the daily, obviously we are kind of coming upwards. Nothing really significant, but you could maybe attribute this to like a. No, you couldn't. I was trying to apply like a anchor trigger wave scenario going on. Let me look over to the chat actually. What is going on over here? Crow knife. You know what? Mike actually told me about this. I don't know what's going on with this. $10 donation. Crow knife's absolute skyrocket. No way. Thank you for the donation. I really, really, really appreciate it. Is this some sort of Twitter thing? I don't know what Mike's done, unless Mike's unless he's done some. I don't know. Is he called some ruckus on Twitter or something? I don't know what's going on. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you joining us on YouTube. You know what? I think now it's every single stream that I've messed up. Anyways, you know what? Before we draw attention to it, I'm just going to carry on. But like I said, again, I'm going to wrap it up for Bitcoin. I normally try to do a more longer TA on Bitcoin, because obviously Bitcoin, you kind of have the sentiment of the market in general. Obviously with Bitcoin being the dominant force, I like to spend more time on Bitcoin than the most coins. We kind of fly by Ethereum and Solana. So I kind of take what I do for Bitcoin TA, kind of take that with me onto the next charts. So what I'm kind of taking with me is either we're going to kind of stagnate above here, or we're going to kind of try and break ourselves upwards. you know, that is kind of, you know what, let me actually show the pattern. As you can see here, it's the same scenario. You kind of, I should probably zoom in on these. You can see it. I don't want to click it. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but you can see like you hover, and then you have the handle coming downwards, and then you kind of break outwards. And the break outwards is when you start to come upwards. So you know, we should have a similar scenario where we've kind of done that, come downwards, and now we're breaking it. Now, in theory, should be the time we break upwards. And you know, I don't have too little faith in it, to be fair, because of the fact that we've been staying within it really accurately. As you can see, like if I get the pen out, you can see here we bounce right off it here. You know, we're bouncing off it here in this area really accurately here. The only, you know, not the concerning part, the only part here was this area. But if I go to the daily, you can see we wicked to the pretty much area anyway. So I have confidence in it. And in theory, if, you know, ceteris paribus and whatnot, we should, in theory, now be in the breaking out aspect of things, and we should be coming upwards towards the higher ranges. And the higher range of it, you know, if we draw from the bottom line over here upwards, should be about 65.4. Roughly towards maybe where we last wicked to when we had the pump, which I talked about, you know, a couple streams ago. You can go look back if you want to see it. You know what? I'm just going to leave the chat to do that thing. Anyway, I'm back with Gary. Actually, Gary launched Gary Snipebot could check. Yeah. Oh, didn't I already cover this? Didn't I already look at the chart for that? I think I did on one of the streams. I could look at it again, obviously. I'll write it down. You're welcome. Got plenty of proven enough gains. Fair enough. Look at it. All right. I'll look at it. I'll add it to the list. You know, I'll do it before Gary. There we go. Okay, it's on the list. Don't worry. So we'll do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Obviously, go on to the other coins. So yeah, I'm gonna move on from Bitcoin now. Hopefully, I haven't seen anything within here to suggest we should have invalidated this. I don't think we've really broken it. We haven't broken it, and now we're coming upwards. So all things have gone well with this. We're now on step 3 of, you know, the 3-step plan. Have the arc, come down to this handle, whatever, and then we, in theory, now should come upwards. But like I said, we haven't really broken out of it. And if we have wicked, we've just printed. And I think the most important part about it is, anyway, is printing within the range anyway. So it's not really, you know, like wicking outwards to these higher levels. It's the fact that we've retracted back into the range and we are now printing within the area. But obviously now we've printed a couple times above now. Obviously, I do expect some sort of retractment to test support. Those are going to be intra movement kind of tests of support as we go upwards. So I'm not expecting us to really come downwards. If we do, I don't expect it to kind of come down and then come upwards. I don't think that scenario really happens. I don't really think we come down to the higher point of the range and then come upwards. I don't think that really happens. I think it's mainly just a normal movement upwards. Maybe testing support here and then coming upwards. But I think in general, we're going to be moving upwards. And I hope it's going to allow us to come towards 65,336. Maybe a wick, maybe like wicks or something in that scenario. But, you know, I think obviously we're going to have issues above us anyway. We have a lot of different resistance points. But like I said, these are on lower time frames. On the 4-hour anyway, we should hopefully break above these. But, you know, I don't know how accurate the statement is to say that we print above all these and actually stay and use like 65, 64, 9 as support. Hopefully we do. I mean, that would be the best case scenario. And it should, you know, if we ignored all these areas, if we like completely removed all these, if I go to like a different exchange, maybe this one, we redraw kind of the general scenario which we had, you know, kind of got the range there, obviously got the lower point down here or wherever it was, and then coming upwards, that is a significantly higher amount than I had previously. I don't know why that's so high. I think that's how you do it. I think you draw it from the lower point of the area and then come upwards towards the higher points. But to be fair, I don't know what the poll said. I think the poll said, did the poll actually say 68k? You guys have been rating like X all week. You know, I'm out of the loop on X, to be fair. I will check the chart stream, don't worry. But like I said, it'd be handy. I know Mike is in the chat right now because I do not have 4 hands where I can go chat on YouTube and look at the charts. So I know you're here right now, and you know, hopefully you're listening. You might not be listening, actually, to be fair. I actually don't know what I know at the start of stream, he always does a poll to see if we can go above or below for Bitcoin. I don't know what his higher end for Bitcoin was, but I think he said 68k. Now, I don't know if I've misdrawn this scenario. I could have. I absolutely could have. But it does say 68k. But I'm going to be a bit more conservative, aka drawing it, but basically where our highest range was. Yeah, obviously coming upwards from there. But as you can see, why did I change chart again? There's too much going on right now. But basically, yeah, that's what I was going to do. So ignoring, all the mediary points above this, next to resistance point where we might see above here, we had a bunch of order blocks in this area, which, if we were on any other charts, we wouldn't actually see. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that everything goes well and we kind of stay above this line, trekking upwards towards, 65, 5 in that area. Obviously, the end of the line is roughly 15th of May, 16th, maybe not 16th actually, basically 15th of May. It's actually, yeah, it's kind of like the start of May. It's basically the end of Tuesday. It's basically the end of tomorrow. But obviously, to keep our reckon of 90k Bitcoin by the 16th of May, from the point we reached to, we're going to have to go up 38%. So, guys, I know we're really hopeful about it, but I don't know how applicable 90k is for Bitcoin. Obviously, like I said, it is a joke. It is a joke we've had since like the start. It was like the start or the middle of April we've had that joke. It's been a nice joke. It's been really nice to have that going. But anyway, like I said, moving on from Bitcoin now. 65.5, what I think's going on. I could have drawn that wrong. We could be going to 68k. Whoopie do. So yeah. Anyways, I'm moving on now. Again, I've already said out loud the coins which I am already covering. But if you've got any coins you want me to cover, what's going on here? Right. Okay. That's when yeah. So this is basically what happened. When Bitcoin, obviously, I explained this last stream. Bitcoin didn't actually test a singular point for support, which is why we didn't actually hold our breakout, which was a shame, which was a big shame, and it kind of invalidated what's going on here. We had huge liquidity coming, actually letting us break below the order block and the midpoint, and then obviously it was just wrapped from there. But good thing has happened. Big surge, big price, and we've actually now used the midpoint as support, aka now this order block is going to be a positive support order block, which is good. So now we should maybe hopefully boom, kind of bounce and come upwards for Ethereum, coming upwards towards the 30k mark. But again, we do have next, kind of areas here. You should probably see difficulty at, as you can see, pen out. Saw difficulty there. We're kind of seeing a bit of difficulty. We're just in this rough situation right now. It's a poor scenario to be in. I don't think there's any really other points of significance, but as you can see, kind of form this order block over here, kind of using it now as a resistance. So it seems like we've kind of got an area here between the two midpoints of difficulty to have for Ethereum. That will probably be a shorter term difficulty area for Ethereum. I don't think this is going to be a permanent range we're going to see. So I think it might be a scenario where we see some sort of, we've kind of bounced and maybe have some difficulty in here. Obviously, with what I think happening for Bitcoin, that we're going to be breaking some sort of resistance points as we go upwards, due to the fact that we're breaking out of our cup and handle kind of situation. We should, with that positivity, break upwards. And to be fair, we haven't actually removed this Bart Simpson. As you can see, coming downwards, hovering. We had a wick upwards, obviously kind of bouncing, but we should really realistically come back upwards towards I always do this whenever I come from Bitcoin to Ethereum. I always say 30,000, but 3,026 or 3,025. We should really complete this Bart Simpson, hopefully anyway. Come down, hovered, and now come upwards. Obviously, the difficulty was the fact we had this order block, which formed, 9th of May-ish area over here, which kind of stopped us from completing the, Bart Simpson scenario. But we should, with Bart Simpson, you normally come right back to where you came from in the start of things anyway. So we should come towards 3,025 in that area anyway. So regardless of what we move, we're in the next, couple, sets of 4 hours, we should come upwards anyway towards the higher points anyway. So, I'm not really holding on to too much negativity for Ethereum anyway. With the Mark Cypher, it's a difficult, it's a really bad scenario we're in. It's like we've not really got any momentum. We're kind of at the zero mark, which is a good thing and a bad thing. We're not really in a set kind of trend right now. If you were to solely read the Mark Cypher B, you'd see it and go, okay, well, we're not really in a significant trend right now. It's not really too positive or negative. but at the same time, it could be a good thing if this continues to go upwards and then things start to arc. But again, VWAP's been coming down for a while now. If that continues to come down, I don't think it will, seem as though we're kind of at the midpoint anyway. We should have some positivity soon coming upwards. Hopefully this will start to arc, especially with what's going on with Bitcoin anyway. If that starts to come upwards as well, we should see positivity. I mean, regardless, we could, just ignore it and go, okay, this is kind of what's going on. We should complete this and come upwards back to where we were anyway. I don't know if this invalidates the scenario. I mean, I don't think it does. Although, like I said, I'm not too positive. Let me get a good scenario. So I want like a inverse. That's a really good one, actually. I want to find like a not so good one to see if it still actually has its kind of formation and it actually works properly. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna have fun. That I don't know what this is. I don't know what the hell that is. But fair enough. But you can see it's like as it's come down. I think there's green. I think there's a faint green wick there. It's what? It's impossible to see. I'm not even gonna bother. But there's whiteness there, and you can see white or green. So I can see white there. So I think you can kind of hover, but as long as it's genuinely big lines upwards. So I think we should have a big line upwards for that. Would coincide with what's going on with Bitcoin anyway. If we are still in our range, and if we are still in our pattern, our handle pattern, which I think we are. I don't really think we've done anything to break it. Like I've said, if that starts to wick upwards, continuing its line to break above order blocks, I think we could have a wick for Ethereum as well, breaking above the 3,000 mark and completing this, Bart Simpson and kind of getting back up to the higher ranges. So I think we go up to the higher ranges anyway, even if with what we've got here. Even if this is, you can see the scenario we're in right now. It's forming the typical crab scenario for market cipher, where you've got green dot red dot scenarios, and you've got momentum which isn't moving in the slightest, and you've just got really low scenarios in here. It's just really stuck. So it's difficult times. I do think we come upwards. I do have some positivity. I've been really positive pretty much every stream now. I don't really think I've had too much negativity. But again, I can't help myself. I'm just reading what I've got in front of me. And I think what I have in front of me is positive. But this is looking like one of those little things going on right now, where you break up above something and then you test it and then use it as support. You see that often anyway. I'm probably gonna go find a scenario somewhere for somebody. There'll be a scenario. You know what? It's fine. I want to move on to scenario anyway. I don't know if I just ruined the chart then. I think I have. There we go. Put that back. I know my big head. Why am I so white? I know. What? Let me get my light going on. Yeah, whatever. It don't matter. This is like the strongest. This is like having the sun next to me. It's literally the strongest orange light I think I've ever gone. When are you showing Quo? I'm gonna do it after Solana. Okay, I can't deviate from my rules. As much as you've donated crazy numbers we've ever seen, thank you for that again. I can't deviate from my rules, and my rules are I've got to do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and then I can move on. So actually, speaking of Solana, what's going on? So so we had this range. Okay, we've got a similar scenario. Okay, let me draw this properly because this is absolutely awful. Okay. If I delete this, I'm going to delete the whole thing, aren't I? That's unfortunate. This is actually good as well because it's coming from the lower end, which is what we need for this scenario anyway. So you can see, come upwards. Range. I think we're still range bound, to be fair, with Solana anyway. So I don't think we're breaking out just yet. As you can see, we've come upwards. Cup handle, whatever the hell thingy going on here. Then we're coming downwards now in our range. What the hell is that? I've never seen that in my life. Oh, we're still I don't even know how I did that. Anyway, we're still in our range. Boom, 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 doing this. Obviously, we got stuck at the midpoint line. Anyway, so we kind of had a delayed scenario, but we did come down. We did come down pretty heavily. When did I draw this? When did I do my stream? Was it on Thursday? I did my stream. I think I did. Okay, well, I think I drew. We did it pretty accurately anyway. But I drew this. I don't know why I drew this there. Oh, that was on Saturday stream. Yeah. Okay, so I drew this. Obviously, one half of it was pretty accurate, as you can see. Boom, coming right down. Thursday, right? Last week, yeah, I thought so. So Thursday is about 10 o'clock anyway, 9 to 10. I think I must have drew this anyway. You can see it starts at 6 a.m. on Friday, so I don't know when that was, but 10 to the 9 of Thursday within this candle when I was drawing the charts, and as you can see, I must have drawn it a bit ahead or something, but it's come right down. It followed that and it came back upwards, which is nice anyway. Or it didn't come actually down upwards, but it got the downwards movement correct, which is nice. Obviously, I think we then actually came below this support point. I don't know if I drew that properly, but it came below the support point, which is obviously the resistance, and then we got stuck below it, which is difficult. But we formed an order block down here and obviously had double kind of difficulty going on there. Where is my? There we go. As you can see, we formed something here. Again, stronger support. Basically meaning, we're at the bottom of anything. We couldn't really fall below that because this is big wicks, 4-hour, recently printed order block. So it was going to have to come upwards anyway, because when you've got a red to a green, it normally means you're going to have some bullish movement when you have an order block. Obviously, that's, without the scenario where you're below a support point anyway. Obviously, that's some difficulty. But as you can see, from here anyway, this was going to kind of just completely ignore, which happened. I mean, again, with what's going on with Bitcoin anyway, and kind of everything starts to come upwards again, it was going to happen regardless. But my general point is we're coming upwards to the top of our range. It's about $151, probably seeing difficulty then coming back downwards. But again, to be fair, I mean, we have bounced this would be our third time coming upwards, and I think there's like a 3-strike scenario when you have a range like this, where you actually kind of bounce like this, and on the third one you kind of break. So unless it's, I don't know if it's 3 and then you break, or I don't think there's a specific rule, to be fair. It's kind of a chart pattern, but this could maybe coincide with what's going on with, if Bitcoin continues where it's going and actually start, because once it reaches its high points of its, order blocks, and it starts to break. If it does, obviously this is assuming the fact it does break resistance points because of the fact it's quite bullish. If it starts to break upwards, as I think it should do, then that's going to be pretty bullish to allow for Solana to probably have its breakout of its cup and handle scenario and then come upwards maybe towards $160 for Solana, which would be pretty nice. I don't know what this is. Oh, this was the okay, actually let me make sure I'm drawing this properly. I don't know what the accurate scenario for it to come upwards is. I don't really think there is. It really is there, from what I'm looking at anyway. Really loud bike. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there doesn't seem to really be a specific line which it draws from. So I'm kind of just guessing there. So I think the next significant point would probably be about $160 or 159.81, whatever this little area is. So I think that's where we would probably come to. I don't think the breakout would be. But doesn't it come higher? Hold on. Doesn't it come higher than its previous point? Yeah, it does. It comes higher than its previous point. You can see here, does its thing, and then it does its thing. Okay, this is a really bad example. Let me find a good example. Yeah, I mean, I suppose here, you've got your kind of thingy majiggy going on, and then it comes, I think the significant aspect of it is it comes higher than its previous line. And lo and behold, the previous line is actually this thing going on over here, which is $160. So actually, a break of $106 could be in play for Solana. I said it here first. Break of $160 is definitely in the books. But I think I think 162.5 is going to be difficulty. As you can see, bounce there. We had 2 crazy wicks downwards, and they both stopped at the same scenario. So I think this is going to be difficult to break above 162.5. But I think probably what happens is we have huge positivity. We kind of break our steam off, and then bounce off 162.5, and then kind of do that scenario. Those typical ones when you kind of do the test of support and then come upwards. I don't know how positive that. I don't know if that's too positive or not. But I suppose if you look at it on the higher levels, we kind of have a Bart Simpson coming back to $173. So guys, I think $173 is in the books soon. As you can see, boom, Bart Simpson, boom, 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 coming back upwards towards $173. Yep, I said it here first. Solana to $173 very soon. Trust me. By the end of the month, we'll be at $173. How much is that movement? Yeah, 6%. So at some point within this month, we're going to be at $173. I said it here first. Thank you very much. Yeah. So there, I think that's pretty much it. Now, okay. So this crow coin. Okay, I'm a bit out of the loop. You know, I'm kind of like a monk, right? So I live on the mountains. Obviously, I live on the mountains. I live in the in the temples, in the mountains. You know, I meditate on the slabs, at the tip top of the mountain, and I don't I don't go into these areas like Twitter for crypto Twitter anyway, or X, whatever you want to call it. So it's a scenario where I do my thing, and then I go back to the mountain and meditate for another. I actually don't do anything. I actually don't exist outside of the stream. So whenever you watch my streams, I've just pressed spacebar. I hate how if you press spacebar on TradingView, it just takes you to somewhere completely different. But like I said, I actually don't. I don't exist without these streams. I hover in the mountains. I don't do anything other than come back to the stream. The only time I leave my place of meditation is when I do these streams. So I'm not in the loop on Crow. So I don't know. Is it on TradingView or is it on like Bird Eye? Is it a Solana project? I don't know what. I actually don't know. Do we even have a video on it? I don't even know what's going on. Let me look it up. Do we have a? If we do have a video, I'm going to advertise the hell out of it. We have a video. So everyone watching, go check Crypto Warehouse out on Google. No specific places. Just go TradingView. Perfect. Thank you. So is it CAW? Oh, look at that. Oh, is it actually? Is it this? A Hunter's Dream? I hope it is. I'm clicking it. Oh, it's Kronos. Right. Yeah, actually, now that you say it, I remember that. Right. Okay. Made a video. Okay, cool. So we've got a video. Perfect. I'm in the loop now. So we've got a video. Check it out. Search. Go onto Google. Don't know certain platforms or anything like that. Just go to Google, search us up, and you'll find out from there. Am I on the right thing? I think I am. Am I not? I mean, it says core USDT. I'm pretty sure I'm on the wrong thing. Not 100%. Right. Okay. So it's not okay. Oh, right. Actually, if I search the actual whole name, it'll probably appear with the ticker name, right? What's the ticker? Is it not core? Yeah, I can't do case. It's not case sensitive on this thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can't do filter. So basically, right, TradingView, I can't filter. I can't do lowercase. It is automatically uppercase. I can't change it unless I do this. No, I can't change. I can only do that. All right, fine. Fans today. Yeah, which one is it? Okay, you know what? I know what I'll do. Okay, I might be able to get here. It seems like I'm clearly doing something wrong. Okay, if I click here, then it'll probably have the link to the TradingView. If I scroll down. Right, okay, so it seems okay. That's not it. I'm getting it up. I'll drag it onto the screen in a minute. Boom. Okay, I think I've got it up. So, it seems to be incapable of finding on TradingView. Probably I'm probably filtering it wrong, but I've got it up on, as you said, Dextrina. But obviously, Mike is in the chat. To be fair, Since I found it today. Apparently it is on trading. Okay, I can't scroll on the chat. Is it actually okay? It's on trading. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is it okay? What? Okay, I'm searching it right. I can't search Chrome now because it just appears with everything. I can't search Core because it appears with clearly something which is wrong. How did you find it on TradingView? I clearly can't find it on TradingView. I'm looking it up, filtering it by TradingView, and it's not there. Chrome. However, you know what? I should get the screen up. Okay, it's clearly not. Can't send a link. Right, okay, can't send a link. Fine. So, actually, to be fair, well, this I think okay, it has Crow there. It has the right logo. This is the chart. But it would be nice. Obviously, you know, it's not necessary, but it would be nice if I could find it. So it doesn't matter. We've got somewhere here now. What's the history of it? We've got price history. Perfect. I can actually search for it. Quick enough, yeah. I'm on it. Don't worry. Okay, so let's have a look. So we have a chart. So how long does this go back? 20th of April. So obviously we've got some. So this is the chart. Perfect. Okay, we actually have price history because I want to do it on hard time frame because I don't want to just do TA on like the 15-minute and then it just invalidates itself after a certain while. So let's have a look at the price. So it seems like we might have some over here, a significant price point anyway. So let's just draw it out. What I like to see, I like to try and find all the books. Whenever I draw all the books, it doesn't have to necessarily be completely perfect. It just has to act like an order block. As you can see, it's basically acting like a pretty good order block to me. So we've got a high point of resistance there. Good. We found something. I like to try and find a range anyway. So we've got a resistance point. It'd be nice if I can find the midpoint, middle line. There we go. Okay, so we've got a midpoint. So is there any other order blocks on the lower end of things? It seems like we have a smaller one down here, but obviously, you know, why is this so ugly? It's like trying to fade that bit so we can actually see what's going on. Okay, my customizability on this is not looking very nice. Okay, perfect. So we have this moving down here. What it could seem to be here is actually we might find some on the, okay, we also have some on the really lower end down here, as you can see, using that. So we have some support points, very good. So we've got a support points and resistance points. Very nice to see. Let me bring that across. There we go. So 4 hour. So if we formed, wait, where was this? Okay, there we go. It's there. We formed it, used it. Obviously had we had a surge downwards. You can see there, here. Obviously using it. Obviously had a smallish looking kind of Bart Simpson scenario. Not really, kind of. Obviously, and then using the lower point down here as support. Down here, very nice. And then coming upwards, and then testing it, and then we had now using it as a support. So this isn't. So it was support. And then it came to resistance, and now it's support again. So we've got a support point now in this area of about 7061, where we are right now. So if we zoom out, we can kind of see the general area of what's going on here. I also missed this. I don't know how I missed this. A lower one down here, which it was kind of overshadowed by this big one, but nonetheless could happen anyway. If I put that there we go. So we kind of used it there, obviously bounced off it there, surge upwards, and then we tested and then used it as support and then came downwards. So we used it for about 2 seconds, but nonetheless we haven't really invalidated it of anything like that. So we can use that as well. So we can use that as a lower point. So I'm going to kind of fade this one because that's quite high. So if we kind of look at what we think is going to go on, especially with the market in general, I think generally things are going to be going upwards, especially since the fact we are at a support point anyway. And the next thing I want to kind of do is look for any significant points where the price is either stopped at. So we can kind of see here could be something significant where our price kind of bounced off there. We used it as a resistance there. We kind of just stopped here. Obviously, our big area is downwards, and we are now kind of using it in this area. So that is I'm trying to find the lines as close as possible. I think we go upwards because obviously you can kind of see if I get the pen out. Where's the pen? There it is. We kind of have this scenario. I don't like this pen. This pen's ugly. There we go. You can see. Okay, I need to do this. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So I'm going to draw kind of a trend. So we kind of came here, bounced, but now it looks like we're kind of bouncing. And what's good is is this sort of scenario is a good thing to find, because whenever you see scenarios where this is perfect actually. Support. I can flip the chart if I do inverse here, and I'll show you. This is perfect actually. This is really, really good actually. So we kind of obviously we're doing our thing over here, and then we found this resistance point, kind of using it over here, and then we broke above it, and then we did that scenario, that thing right there. That's what I'm trying to talk about. So we did this scenario, which you see on charts all the time. You see this sort of scenario where you find, obviously it's normally on a resistance point which is a bit more long term than this. Obviously this is this is going to be a shorter time frame anyway because it's a shorter time frame coin. But regardless, you can see we have found this kind of resistance point, used it, and then kind of trekked upwards, and then broke above it, and then did this movement. I like this movement. This is a good movement. This is a positive movement. This normally means that this line here is normally a slightly strong point, but is a point nonetheless, or not as strong, but is a significant point nonetheless, and it confirms it. Again, it makes sense. It confirms it if it kind of bounces off it and uses it on both support and resistance. It kind of just confirms that it's not just a random significant point. It's actually a point which has value to it, which is either can be both support and resistance. So obviously on this scale, it is going to be some sort of resistance, but I don't think it would be too difficult to break out of it. So, but you can kind of see we're doing a similar scenario right here again. So we had this, we have both here. So it looks like we're kind of coming down towards this. If I zoom in, I'm gonna delete this as well because it's not really, it's kind of in the way. So we had it there here, and it looks like we're coming back to it here. So it's kind of, we've kind of done this kind of arc, and what normally happens in this arc is we kind of hopefully bounce and come upwards towards the higher ranges. I don't really think there's anything too significant anywhere else other than this line. I mean, obviously maybe something here, maybe this will probably just be a random little point in the middle, which will be some sort of difficulty. I don't think that's going to be a huge resistance point. So probably a scenario we come back upwards towards the higher point up here for core, crow of knife, whatever you want to say. So I think we come upwards. I think I'm bullish on core, obviously. I don't think, I mean, breaking this, what's to be the scenario if we break this? Well, if we have about 6 candles of green positivity for core and we come to this, I don't think we'll have enough steam to break it. But it might be a scenario where we bounce off it, maybe use a lower point, maybe down here, something like this low point, and we use a lower, closer point as support, and then we kind of have, a trend line, basically. We form this some sort of trend line where we kind of bounce and then come upwards again and break it, and kind of form, obviously, like I said, some sort of trend line upwards. Obviously, the time frames are going to be a bit different, but you know what I mean, some sort of trend line where we kind of come upwards, bounce, and then follow our kind of movement upwards for core towards the higher points. Obviously, I think these are quite strong order block, especially this one at the top. I think this is quite a strong order block. As soon as we formed it, we kind of came straight back down. As soon as we came to enter and try and test above the midpoint for the order block, we had huge, strong kind of movement all the way back down to lower points, which we actually formed another kind of intermediary order block, which isn't really something important. It's not really a good order block. I don't really like this. A lot of the time when I draw the block, some of them I don't really like. The only reason I'm keeping it, obviously, because of this kind of midpoint here. So this is a lesser order block. I don't really have too much strength in this, especially, and the reason I have that is because of this here. It didn't have a quick, wick downwards. It didn't really break with huge liquidity. It was we just generally moved downwards. So it was a complete, it completely ignored the order block. And the only reason we're using the top point of it is because the top point of this order block is the lower point of this massive order block. So, like I said, I don't really like this order block as much. If it was up to me, I'd probably fade it out a bit. Maybe having it as, something like this. Maybe do that. I don't like it as much, but I'm going to keep it anyway. So, like I said, to kind of round that out, we've got, this scenario. I think we do this. That's what I think we kind of do. Especially since, if we look at it on the high levels, we've bounced and now we're coming downwards and now we've probably come upwards again. So it seems like we have that sort of thing. Obviously, we've been coming down for a while now, so it seems like we've had our switch now. Especially if we line up with what's going on with Bitcoin and what I think is subsequently what happens with everything else in the market. I think we generally have positive movement with Solana. I'm quite confident Solana. I don't want to say I'm fully confident, but I'm quite confident Solana. I think Bitcoin's going to go up as well. I think we generally move upwards for the market in general. So it does coincide with what the market's doing, which is nice to see as well. So I think in general we move upwards, as does what I think the market has in offer for us as well. So I think we have that arc where we bounce off our order block here and we come upwards. Obviously, I can't ignore this resistance point, which is close to us, but I don't think it's too difficult to break above. So I do think we come upwards to kind of the higher ends of things. But I do think this 8822 mark is going to be something a bit of, it's going to be important. I think it's going to be an important line to break. I do think we have resistance there, and we do bounce off it as our resistance point, because if we are tracking above, these order blocks, these are not order blocks, a loud bike. If we do go above these resistance points, I do think, if we have a couple candles of green, I do think it's going to be hard to actually completely break above both resistance points. So I do think we break upwards. I don't really know if we bounce upwards. But to be fair, I actually don't know what the... that's pretty good market cap, actually. It's really good. Yes, we do have a lot of room to go upwards. Obviously, as that gets higher and higher, we're going to be going higher and higher anyway. So I think in the general, in short term, this is the 4 hour, by the way, just to reiterate that. Obviously, in the shorter-ish term, I do think we have positive movement for core. Unless, again, these things can move faster than higher cap coins anyway. So, we could have crazy wicks, a crazy wick down below the order block, and all this can be ignored. And instead of the market being completely positive, if it does have a wick, which I don't really think it would. I don't know what reason it would have a wick for. I don't really think that's, with what's going on with the market, I don't really think it's easily manipulatable. So I don't think we're going to wick down. But if there is a huge sell-off scenario, for whatever reason, I just want to put all, scenarios on the table, then if there was any sort of negativity like that, I think it would be bouncing here. I don't really think we'd come all the way down. So even if we did come down, I think we'd hug very closely with this order block. Again, to attribute that reasoning is because of what is going to go with the market, especially with how Bitcoin's going to be hopefully moving, and Solana. Obviously, I know they're not exactly on the same chain, but if the market and Bitcoin's moving in one direction, everything should really follow in a similar suit anyway. So I think we have a movement upwards for core. I do think we move upwards. I do think we're quite positive. Even on a normal level where you didn't know anything about the coin other than the chart, which I have in front of me, you can see since roughly the 30th of April, we've been coming downwards, and now we've had, obviously I know over here we had a wick upwards, but we're having our wick upwards now. But I do think it's a different scenario. I mean, you could probably see what happened on the 4th of May. There's probably some sort of negativity in the market anyway, which brought us down. But also to coincide with that, it was the bounce off this order block and movement downwards. So I think we'd have to have a lot of strength to break above this order block. I think this is a really strong order block. The 2 times we even dared to touch it, we just absolutely screwed ourselves over. So obviously testing the midpoint, coming down a pretty strong 29%, and then we came back upwards, coming upwards to us to touch it, and then we obviously these are small points of green. The last time we had any sort of positivity, we moved down about 31%. So I think this is a dangerous order block, which when touched can can cause some issues, I suppose. But regardless, I think we move upwards. That's kind of my analysis for core, I suppose. I mean, I think do we buy core? I think so. Obviously, not financial advice. Need to preface that on every stream, on any coin. Not financial advice. To make sure whatever you invest in, whatever you trade, whatever you do, make sure it's your own judgment. Make sure it's your own TA. Obviously, you can use me as confidence if you want. You can do whatever you want. And if it's your own judgment, you can trade based on what I say. But just to bear in mind, this is what I think. This is what I see in front of me. I don't have a crystal ball. This could wick, 2 times tomorrow, and just completely go below this order block, and this can all be invalidated. Things happen. Even the best of traders get things wrong sometimes. So just do, bear that in mind. But I think we buy. I think this is a good scenario we're in right now for core. It will hit at least 1 billion market cap, big community. Yeah, we need to pass the 150 mark for market cap, and then we'll see what's going on. So got to be careful in that. If we don't, obviously, I mean, there's data in it. I think Mike talks about it a lot as well. He did his thorough research on it. I don't know if there's a video on it actually. I think he did a video or something, like maybe like a stream even, where it was where he talked about meme coins in general. I think we looked at I think $150 million market cap was like a turning point. You can look on CoinMarketCap and look at all the meme coins of the amount of meme coins above and below those market caps. So obviously I think the turning point would be $150 million market cap is where I need to see. Yeah, he's saying here. Obviously he can tell you the specifics in it. Obviously he did the professional research on it, but obviously I could just regurgitate You know, and you can go look at big meme coins anyway. There's probably, you know what, you could probably go look at the big meme coins now, look at their charts, and see what prices they significantly bounced off and what their market cap was at the time anyway. And you'll probably see a significant price point, and that's probably what his research is based on. You'll probably see a significant line at $150 million. So, you know, obviously $1 billion, I assume it's a great, you know, community. I probably should look into it actually. I've really been out of the loop on it. But I think my first target would be $150 million before I think about $1 billion. But I do think, you know, regardless of what anything's going on with general market cap or community in general, I do think we have positives for core. I do think we go upwards. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going on. I mean, you know what? Meme coins are always a funny one for me because, again, you know, it's just a community. It's generally just a photo, a lot of them. But you know, like I said, I need to do my research. You know, some go well, some don't. I mean, $51 million market cap is really good anyway. And you can see, you know, obviously we had our kind of spout. Obviously, this is when it was probably, you know, coming out and, you know, things weren't really known to anybody yet. And then obviously it had this big wick upwards. And, you know, I know there's the chart where it's like, I'll just draw it over here, which is the one you need to be careful of. It's when it kind of does this, does that, and then does that, and then it doesn't move ever again. So we need to be careful of that. We need to be careful of that happening. So yeah, but I mean, and this is what I said, and this is why I need to do my research on the community. I don't know how big the community is. Obviously, you know, seeing the chat, there's tons of people, you know, spamming core, so I assume it's actually a big community anyway. But you know, like I said, we just don't want it to kind of do this scenario where we kind of do that and then not move over again. That is, you know, something we don't want to see. You don't want to see that. You know, it's kind of like a double top scenario if you think about it. You know, kind of doing that, it's kind of like a double top. But there's quite a lot of coins who do this, and it's a shame. You know, there are some good meme coins I think are really great who do this, and it's just genuinely you know, kind of the flip of a coin or whatever you want to call it, because you know, some coins just don't get the ground. I mean, I think this has the ground. Like I said, doing research and seeing what's going on in the comments and seeing what's going on, you know, it does seem like it has some ground. So I think it has the ground to not do this, and this is kind of what I'm trying to say. As long as it doesn't do this kind of thing, then I think we're good to go for core. But if it does this, then, you know, is what it is, I guess. But I think by core, I think it goes up. I think it goes up a pretty hefty amount anyway. So yeah, again, not financial advice. You know, make sure it's your own judgment. Yeah, gotta say that. But again, actually, before I'm about to move on to the last coin, I'm going to check the other chat really quickly as well, to really see if there's any other coins you want me to cover, because, you know, like I say, I'll reiterate it, before I cover on to the last coin, which was suggested by, actually, I think I already looked at it. I think it was the same guy, Disclosure Crypto. I think you actually were the one who suggested it last time as well. I'll look at it again. I think I've already looked at it on stream. But before I go on to the last coin and do my final TA, obviously we're on an hour and 6 minutes in. So, you know, if there's one coin, I will allow for one extra coin. I will cover it really fast. But that's it. Yeah, Gary, I'll move on to Gary now. There we go. I think I looked at it. I did. That did not do what I thought it was going to do. That is really big shame. Yeah, it's the same. You know what? It was the same thing with Bitcoin. We looked at it with WIFHAT and NEAR as well. It's because Bitcoin. I explained it as well. Anyway, we kind of moved like this. We had our wick, but we didn't do like that, which is what I said we needed to do, which was, you know, a shame we didn't do that. So that was a unsuccessful trade, which is a shame. I was pretty happy about this. I thought this would be really good. I think the best one out of a bunch of our trades. I think it was NEAR. I think it was NEAR or WIF. We had like a huge, I think it was like 20%, 25%, you know, base, which is really good. I said, you know, 10x, 250%, pretty good. But we're going back to what's going on now. I mean, we did have negativity. If you looked at the charts for even with Bitcoin, for anything during the, you know, for like during the week or anything, you'll see what's been going on with Bitcoin. So I'm not surprised we're kind of in the dumps right now. Crab with knife. You know what? Fine. I'll look at crab with knife after this really quickly. So I'm trying to look to see if there's any. I'm not seeing any like significant like chart pattern or anything of the sorts. So I guess I'll just see what's going on with the general price action. We are below this wall block. We've kind of been fighting above and below, which is, you know, interesting. It seems like we're kind of below it right now, stuck below this midpoint, which is not good. Obviously, you know, if you look at what's going on with the money flow, really deep red, really negative. But obviously, you know, the analogy which I always like to use, you know, dragging a balloon, or I think everyone can use this, dragging like a balloon or a ball, you know, really deep below like the ocean or whatever, or a pool. You let go of it, it just shoots right back up. That's kind of the scenario that's going on right now. If we have, you know, positive movement for money flow, and it starts to become actually positive continuously, obviously things start to arc. I mean, you can see with the view up, it started to come upwards, but we're kind of hovering right now. So we're kind of in a scenario where we're crabbing. As you can see, money flow isn't really, as of right now, isn't doing anything. View up is not doing anything. The momentum isn't really doing anything significant anyway. So and it does make sense. You know, this is the 4 hour, but bear in mind. So this is, you know, since what time is this? This is 10 a.m. Today. So since today, we haven't. I mean, obviously we've been wicking up and down. We haven't done anything. We haven't moved, and that is obviously coincides with what the kind of whole thing going on with Market Cipher is saying. You know, we haven't been moving, so it's kind of a thing where we have to see what's going on with the chart patterns. But we are stuck below. But if the market moves how we think it should move, I think there's a possibility of coming back upwards to this high point. I think maybe. I mean, obviously it depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin actually really starts to move upwards over, you know, tonight and maybe tomorrow and whatnot, then, you know, seeing this resistance point wouldn't be too difficult to say for me. I don't know if we would bounce and go upwards. I don't really think that would. I don't think that would happen realistically. I don't really know if we bounce properly. I mean, if we do bounce, we can kind of see. We kind of had some sort of line here. You know, if we bounce, you know, obviously 2% padding I think is really important. But worst case scenario, you know, down there. But again, I mean, these scenarios is just what happens with Bitcoin. So, you know, if you were to long right now, let's say, just right now, if you're like, I'm so eager to long this, I really want to long Gary, I'm so desperate to long. I'd probably put a 4.46, and then I'd want to put this like below here. I'll probably put it at this line. So obviously it's a really not good ratio. We are, like I said, we're in the dumps right now. As you can see, like if I bring it across, we're kind of hovering here. Actually, isn't this is it like a bear or a bull flag? That's not what I wanted. I always, you know, it's always the same pattern. It's like this. It's this horizontal rectangle. Here it is. Where is it? Yeah, the bullish triple bottom, I suppose. Yeah, here we go. So this is actually a good sign. This is a good sign. I like this. So it seems like we have a bullish triple bottom or whatnot, which brings us basically right to this midpoint actually. So you see 1, 2. You know, if we bounce towards this low point one more time, it will probably bring us towards this midpoint. I don't know what the time frame would be exactly, but you could probably wait for that. That could be a breakout. I'm actually going to delete all this right now. But again, chart patterns don't happen all the time. But you can see, you know, it has to have. It seems like it has to have 3 bottoms and 2 tops. So you can see, you know, when we came into the range, you know, we had the 1 top and the bottom, and then the top and the bottom. Wait, what? Oh, there you go. The bottom and then the top, and then the bottom and the top, and then we have the bottom, and it looks like we're starting to come upwards now. So it seems like we have the possibility for a really big positive movement for kind of Gary. So it seems like the price right. So the minimum price target is the width of the bottom. So it doesn't actually come right back upwards. Oh no, it does apparently in this chart. But I think what this is trying to say. Is there not a chart? Hold on. Is there not a thingy for this? 3 drives? I don't know. Okay, that's not it. Okay, well, that's not TradingView. That's why. So this is okay. Well, whatever this is, it comes from the bottom and it comes back to the top. So it seems like the target is the previous top. So I'm just ignore what the hell that other chart was. So it seems like we've had our 3rd bottom, and now we might be hovering and then coming upwards. So especially going along with what's going on with Bitcoin and you know, everything in general, we're actually, you know, we've got our 3rd bottom coming upwards now. Maybe back to this midpoint. This is maybe wishful thinking. I don't know. Obviously, I do not know. This is, you know, again, not financial advice. Coming to, where's this going to take us? It's 30% positive. Wow. Okay. You could probably do a really lenient stop loss here. Obviously, it depends what your multiplication is. You could probably do a 10x would be crazy. A 10x on this, if it did happen, would be crazy. Imagine that. That would be nuts. I'd probably do it a bit lower though. I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably do it to maybe there, 250%. Pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, it looks like we might have this 3 bottom whatever the hell thing. So Bitcoin I think is gonna go up. Solana thinks gonna go up. I think Ethereum's gonna go up. I think Core's gonna go up. I think this might go up. Obviously, again, the amount of times I said I think it's gonna go up, and then we've wicked down for Bitcoin, and everything's gonna invalidate it. It happens. Things happen. If I go back to Bitcoin, could really quickly look like what could happen is we wick back into our range, and then everything I just said today is wrong. And I keep on doing that, but it's not like I can go. I think this is gonna go down. I think it's gonna go up because that doesn't really normally happen. So it does really depend on what goes on with the market. But what's going on is we're kind of going upwards. I think so. Yeah. Let me drink some water. Like I said, I think we come upwards. I'll just quickly show Bitcoin to show like we have positivity. Yeah, so the last coin is going to be, let me scroll upwards, Crab of Knife. Now let me look at the lower comments. Okay, so that's what I'm covering. I'll just make sure that no one else said anything else in the chat. So it looks like we're doing Crab of Knife, and I can only assume this is going to be somewhere else. I didn't want to click that. There we go. All right, so Crab of Knife. How many 1-9s are we gonna have? Okay. Okay, so we've not got a lot of data on the 4 hour, which is a shame. I like doing. Cause I want to do a longer term chart pattern for these. So we've got a really nice positive trend line, very nice, very very good to see. I think we had a kind of this. Is that like a chart pattern? I recognize this. Hold on. Is this something? Let's see. It's not a rising wedge, is it? No, it's not. I swear I've seen something like this before. Maybe I haven't. Well, I suppose you could maybe argue that it's kind of one of those little ditties over there. What's it called? The rising wedge. And to bear in mind as well, like chart patterns are never 100% accurate, or never like 100%. What? Right. Okay. Well, to be fair, we've not got enough data to like really say it, but maybe come downwards somewhere. I'd probably say to some sort of like a significant price point, maybe like here. So maybe we've got, but again, you have to bear in mind like, what's going on with the market. So I mean, I never like doing this. I never like finding like a chart pattern or something in the chart which is like coinciding with what I think is going to happen. So you have this kind of rising wedge, which in theory should result in a negative movement of sorts. Bringing us towards some sort of lower point, maybe like here or here. I don't want to say that because I think the market's going to move upwards, but again, this has existed only since the 9th of May. So I really wouldn't be surprised if we did have a negative movement, especially since the fact we've been going upwards since the start, or since the conception of this. Why am I on crab? Wait, what? Oh, no. I haven't drawn it on a crab pair. What am I drawing this on? I don't want the advertisement. Why was that the first suggestion? That's the stupidest thing. Oh, well, I mean, to be fair, it hasn't really changed. All right, well, ignore. Okay, well, yeah, let's just go back to this then, really quickly. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I was going to say stupid. Well, the statement of crows eat crab, you know what? It could line up because it looks like we might be coming down for crab. Now, again, like I said, we've been in the crab with knife, whatever the hell this is. This has existed since 9th of May, or within this pair anyway, or wrapped I don't even know. Or VBS fan. I don't know where I am. Whatever I'm doing right now. Yeah. I didn't want to do crab and core because I wanted to do like the pair it was based on. Obviously, this is on the Chronos chain, or whatever. So I wanted to do it on the where it was supposed to be. I didn't want to do a pair. I didn't want to do a pair of crab and core. But to be fair, they're both moving the same. And with the statement "crows eat crabs," it does look like we might be falling. So it would be pretty funny if that happened. Mouse Impasta. What is this? Is this the subgenre of memes now? Noun with noun, or noun in noun, like ridiculous. But anyway, I think we move down. I don't know how far we're gonna move down. I don't want to say we move all the way down because that's, it's hard for me to say. All I do is read the data, and I'm finding difficulty finding out. I don't really think it has a specific. I don't really think it has a specific place it comes to in particular. But yeah, let's see. It doesn't really have. I'm trying to look at all these. It doesn't have. Oh, so the width of the lowest point is where it might fall from. So like this scenario. So towards So actually, to be fair, where I had it previously, towards maybe this low point, is slightly accurate. So maybe towards 3159. Check Mouse Impasta. You know what? I'll check it out next year because I did say we're now 19 into the stream, to be fair, and I did say I wanted to cover this quickly. So what I will do, Mouse Impasta, I will cover that on Wednesday. So if you join us again on Wednesday, I will cover right after Bitcoin Ethereum Solana. I will cover Mouse Impasta. Let me send it to myself so I know that particular. I will cover. You know what? Also as well, check the descriptions out. There are links there to the TG. So if you come to the trading and tokens area of TG, you can come send all these tokens in, and then I will cover them. It's kind of like a skip the waiting list scenario, where if you come to you can send all these coins and I will cover them, before the stream. Because the scenario is like I asked people on the stream. Obviously, send me some coins, I will cover them. But if you send them in the Telegram, those will be on the list. I only really cover a couple of coins. Depends on how the day goes, and how many coins we have, and how fast I move. But if we have, if you're sending coins on the Telegram, then you'll have that before anybody else. But anyway, I will cover Mouse Impasta on Wednesday because it's an hour. I normally finish the stream about an hour and 5 minutes, and it's an hour and 20 minutes in, so I don't want to finish it. So my final analysis was on crab, and I can't ignore what's in front of me. Now again, chart patterns never 100% of the time, but what I have in front of me suggests we might come downwards a bit. 793k market cap, it wouldn't be too crazy for a negative movement. It wouldn't be too hard to move downwards. Just as much as it wouldn't be too hard to move outwards. I mean, with these market caps, it could do a scenario where it goes bunk, and it prints above here and we bounce and then we kind of go upwards. That's a scenario. That is a perfectly fine scenario because chart patterns never 100% of the time. But I don't have, market sci-fi. I don't have any money flow scenarios. To be fair, I haven't actually looked at order blocks. But again, I haven't actually. I'm a fraud. I don't know why I haven't looked at the order blocks yet. I don't know why to do that. So you can see, we do have this order block here. Doing very well, very accurate actually. You can see this midpoint, very very nice order block thing going on here. Very very nice. But again, a wick downwards would just completely ignore this and come all the way down. So anyway, like I said, if we stay above this order block, we could, wick outwards of this rising wedge and then continue to go upwards and completely ignore this chart pattern. That is more than not more than likely, but that could more than, I've got so many ways of saying the same thing. It's all mumbling into one, but that can more than likely happen. Well, that can happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Whatever. You know what I mean? That we could wick outwards and I wouldn't be surprised. We could also come downwards and fulfill this, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't come out. Bearing in mind the market cap is 793k, we could wick upwards, and it wouldn't be too difficult. It wouldn't require a lot of force to move us upwards. It wouldn't require a lot of dollars at all. So we could wick outwards and print above this rising wedge and ignore it, and that is more than a possibility. But it is, we can see we're following this trend line very tightly. We're following this very tightly. We're following the rising wedge very tightly. So we could come downwards. we could, and we're quite early in the chart for us to, which allows us to not actually necessarily follow how the market moves. We should follow how the market moves. That's how things generally happen. But it's only been in existence for about like 4 days, pretty much 4 days on the dot, or this chart anyway. I don't know exactly, but you know, it doesn't necessarily have to follow you know, the general market, because we've only been, you know, this has only been in existence for 4 days. So, like I said, I don't think it's too, you know, risque to say we should come downwards towards this really low point down here and bounce off it and maybe come back upwards. But you know, it could come outwards, it could not do anything, whatever. See how it goes. Good luck to everybody. I hope we come upwards. I think Bitcoin's going to be coming upwards. I think we're coming upwards in general. Good luck to everybody. I will look at mouse in pasta, whatever the hell that is. You know what? I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to look at if it's on here. It probably is. Yeah, it's going to be on here. That's ridiculous stuff, guys. It's crazy. Mouse. I'll look at mouse in pasta next stream. See a break of the neckline, investment shorts, and we test the support. Crab looks like it's ready. Ooh, this investment shoulders. What time frame? What time frame are you on for the investment shoulders? I'll end. I'll do it. I'm gonna, for all those of you, I will end this soon very quickly. Don't worry. Breaking the neckline, investment shoulders. Okay, so where's what? Do you know what? You know what? Screenshot it. Send it in the TG. Thank you. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I think this comes down. Obviously, not financial advice. Pretty much everything. Bear that in mind. All these charts, all these things. You know, these are not. You know, this is not pure trading advice. This is just me looking at the charts. This is you suggesting coins. I'll look at them. It doesn't necessarily mean I suggest you should trade them or anything like that. It should be your own judgment if you trade them or not. And yeah, just make sure you're trading based on your own judgment. And obviously, you can take into account my charts if you want to. But you know, it is what it is. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you. I don't know if he is still here, but thank you so much to Carrie Pogton. Thank you so much for donations. Really appreciate it. You know, I wish Crow. Look, I think it's going to do well. I mean, it looks like what I have in the chart so far. It should do well. Crab, on the other hand, I think as scroll up. Jimmy Hubbard, Crow eat crab. I do think that is I think that is one of the best statements I've ever had in the chat, because it is accurate. I think this does fall. I think Crow with knife. I think Crow with knife. When it jousts crab with knife, I think it beats it. I mean, considering the fact it's got all those wings and stuff, obviously, you know, it can just fly around the crab and crab can't do anything about it. So I think crab fall. Crab looking sad. But you know, yeah. Let's see what happens. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. I mean, especially with the fact that inverse head and shoulders. You know, inverse head and shoulders is you know, a positive thing. So we'll see. We'll see again. If you've got charts, you know what? If you have charts differing mine and you hate me and you think I'm the worst chart drawer, come to the TG and come talk to me there. Come to the training area, screenshot your charts. I'd love to see you guys' charts. And yeah, 2 hour, right? Okay, yeah. I'll look at it. You know what? I'll look at it now. If it's really important, I think it's great. I'll look at it next stream. But yeah, you know, guys, join us next stream. If you've got any, you know what, if you've got more meme coins, I'm so happy to cover them. You know what? I might have to embrace the meme coins. If you want more meme coins covering on charts, just send them over. Send anything over. If you've got any other coins in general as well, in any of the other chats, just send them and I will cover them, obviously, for next stream as well. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for joining, and thank you to everybody, everywhere, on all platforms. It's been a really, you know, it's been a nice stream. I think it's been a good stream. It's been nice. It's been nice talking to everybody. It's been pretty relaxed as well. There's not been too many, you know, there's some streams where I cover 10 coins. It's ridiculous, but we're an hour and 27 minutes in. We're way over the time I normally like to end it. So, you know, hopefully it's been a good stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And thank you, NTB, you sub. Thank you. I'm glad you found the stream good, that you thought it was good enough to subscribe. So thank you. Hopefully you can join us on Wednesday. I will be covering mouse and pasta as well. So, you know, hopefully you can join on Wednesday. I do, you know, same time, same place, whatever. I think Mike says the same thing, same time, same place. At 9 p.m, I think we're UTC+2. And yeah, thank you. See you next stream. Goodbye.
Well, come on, Fizzy.